Hello. Hi. I don't have my headphones on, so it is a little deafening hearing my actual voice and, with my actual ears rather than my noise canceling headphones. So that is very odd. But welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you've never been here before. Today I figured I'd do another book video. I've done a couple book videos on here, but I just thought of this idea randomly. I think Jack Edwards also did this, but today we are going to be picking out what book I'm going to be reading next based off of their first line. I feel like there's so much you can tell from a book from its first line, and it's like, how am I gonna know if I want to read this unless I read something from the book? You know what I'm saying? So that's exactly what we're gonna be doing today. I'm in front of my bookshelf. If you guys want a bookshelf tour, let me know, but it's not that much, so I don't blame you if you don't want a tour. It's not that much, honestly, y'all. It really isn't. But she does look cute. I put a lot of work into it looking cute with all my little artifacts. So we're gonna be going through it. I have a couple books down here as well from my husband's kind of bookshelf library, I guess. And we're gonna be picking out some books to possibly read. Currently, I am reading The Song of Solomon by Toni Morrison. Not gonna lie, sometimes it's very complicated, very difficult to read Morrison because the way that she tells how events happen, it's like you don't know something's happening and then you're like, oh wait, something's happening, because the way that she kind of words and like phrases things, it's kind of difficult to understand that things are unfolding in real life. But so far I am liking it. Not gonna lie, I did have to look up the spark notes after the first chapter and was like, what is going on? But after I figured out what was happening, I'm good. I can follow along. So that is what I'm following. I also found this pristine condition at my library's bookstore. Iconic. So one of the first books that I got recently in the same time that I got The Song of Solomon was John Steinbeck's The Winter of Our Discontent. I don't even know if I've ever heard of this. The cover is kind of amazing, iconic. I love these small little like mass-produced books, and the edges are kind of yellowed. I don't know if that was intentional or not. Either way, I love. But let's go ahead and read first line if it's something that we would be interested in. It's not a very long book. Chapter 1. When the fair gold morning of April stirred Mary Hawley awake, she turned over to her husband and saw him, little fingers pulling a frog mouth. What? Little fingers pulling a frog mouth at her. When the fair gold morning of April stirred Mary awake, she turned over to her husband and saw him, little fingers pulling a frog mouth at her. I have no idea what this book is about, bruh. But the back of it mentions East of Eden, which I loved East of Eden. I'm gonna put that in the probably not section. I'll put it right. I'll put the books right here if they'll fit. They probably all won't fit. Next, we have Man of La Mancha. This is a play about Don Quixote. And if you know anything about me, or if you've seen any of my past book videos, Don Quixote is on my list. I'm just not sure if I can handle it right now because it is like an 800-page book, probably like 1,000-page book. But this is the play version, so I feel like I could read this. So let's go ahead, skip the introduction. Literally have this freaking thing. And this is a play, so this might be like kind of difficult. I want to read like the first dialogue. Anything wrong? The accommodations? Yeah, okay, it's a play, so that's gonna be in like not the best first line, but I might still read it. Okay, next is a book I'm very curious about, and I have had a friend say that they think I would like this, and that is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson. I don't know how many are in this series. I think there's 3 in this series, but this is a very thick book. I'm not sure, and I'm also not really like a fantasy reader because this kind of intimidates me. There's like a family tree in here, and I'm like, oh my gosh, am I gonna have to remember names and events, especially with all this world building? Don't know if I'll be able to. Let's see. Chapter 1. The trial was irretrievably over. Everything that could be said had been said, but he had never doubted that he would lose. Interesting. Okay, some sort of like trial lawyer, something going on. I Again, I just don't know if I have the capacity to world build with this much info. This looks like a lot of freaking info. This is a 619 page book. We'll see. We'll see. We'll put that like right under mancha. All right, next we have Ready Player One. This is all from my husband's, at least The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo and Ready Player One. This is all from my husband's library, but this seems interesting enough. I am, like I said, currently reading probably a very sad book if you know anything about Toni Morrison. So maybe a fun adventure book might be the way to go. Okay, chapter 1. Everyone my age remembers where they were and what they were doing when they first heard about the contest. That's pretty good. Oh my gosh, this book looks super long. I guess it kind of is. 372. But it sounds fun. Everyone my age remembers where they were and what they were doing when they first heard about the contest. That's such a relatable thing. I feel like there's so many events that people will always remember where they were and what they were doing when they heard about it, you know? It's very interesting. That's gonna be number 1 so far. Slay, slay, slay. Okay, next we have Fight Club, Chuck Palahniuk. Here's my thing. I've seen Fight Club, the movie. Everyone says, you know, you should still read the book. The book is very good. My husband loves the book. I don't know. It's a very short book too, so I do think I can get this done pretty fast. 218 pages. It's just seeing Fight Club, the words, it brings back traumatizing stuff because a lot of men were very mean to me in the comments for my reaction to Fight Club, even though I liked the movie, so you can't please everybody. All right. So, let's see what the first line is of Fight Club. Tyler gets me a job as a waiter. After that, Tyler's pushing a gun in my mouth and saying the first step to eternal life is you have to die. That's really good. I don't know if it's above Ready Player One. I'll put it right under Ready Player One because I just need something fun and adventurous maybe. So we'll put that right under. Next, we have Life of Pi by Jan Martel. My husband also read this book. He said that it was really good. Very weird though, is what he said. He said the ending was very weird. So let's see. Chapter 1. The first line. My suffering left me sad and gloomy. Not the best line. I'm gonna put that, I'll put that last. I'm sorry. It just needs to happen. That is last right now. Okay, next we have 12 Years a Slave by Solomon Northup, I believe is how you pronounce it. First line. Having been born a free man and for more than 30 years enjoyed the blessings of liberty in a free state, and having at the end of that time been kidnapped and sold into slavery, where I remained until happily rescued in the month of January 1853, after a bondage of 12 years, it had been suggested that an account of my life and fortunes would not be uninteresting to the public. I mean, you got a point. You do have an interesting story to tell, Solomon. Again, not saying I'm never gonna read this, but I think since I'm already reading kind of like a heavy book, maybe not exactly what I want to read right now. I'll put that under Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Let me know if you've read any of these books, let me know how they are. Let's see if there's one in my bookshelf that I might be interested in reading. You know, for shits and giggles, let's look at Pet Cemeteries because I really want to see what this first line is. And I know that this is kind of a brutal book, I'm pretty sure. So we will see how I'm feeling about this one. Chapter 1, first line. Lewis Creed, who had lost his father at 3 and who had never known a grandfather, never expected to find a father as he entered his middle age. But that was exactly what happened. Although he called this man a friend, as a grown man must do when he finds the man who should have been his father relatively late in life. Ooh, interessante. Okay, so family dynamics, fatherhood. Never expected to find a father as he entered his middle age. Although he called this man a friend, as a grown man must do when he finds the man who should have been his father. Okay, interessante. So like he's finding someone who should have been his father, or finding his father and saying that you came too late in my life, basically. And he's in his middle age. Interesting. I don't know. That is very interesting. This is a thick book as well. It's freaking 560 pages. I might listen to the audiobook of this, but we'll see. Kind of like this cover though. I kind of wish that the edges were like sprayed green though. That would have been hot and sexy. I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards these two because I can read both. That is a thing. I can read both of these. And don't worry if I do end up reading Ready Player One. I will not read the second one. I've already heard too many terrible things about the second one. I won't read it, so you don't have to worry about that. In terms of everything else on my bookshelf, yeah, I mean, these are all books that I have read, despite The Vanishing Half. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go with these two so that I have a good variety. I have kind of this sad, reflective book. I also have a fun, adventurous book, kind of escape, and Fight Club. I don't know what I would really categorize this as, but it would be interesting because I am thinking about doing a video comparing books to movies, so it would be interesting to read this. So I think that is what my current reading is going to look like. I'll probably give an update at the end of the month, see if I have finished these books, see what I thought, and thank you guys for being here with me. With that said and done, I want to give a huge shout out to all of my patrons, and especially Gave Up, AJ, Mark Sylvester, Terrell, Jeb Manning, Antonio Escalante, and Jeff Griffin. Thank you so much, and make sure to go ahead and check out my Patreon if you haven't already. Okay, if you've read these books, let me know what you think about them. I'm also curious to read American Psycho because I just watched the movie and I didn't really know that there was a book. So if you've also read that one, let me know. Otherwise, thank you for joining me on this journey. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all of that jazz. And as always, thanks for watching.